Did you go back and rewatch it, or did you just check out an article
I
or
kind of
clips?
just looked at it.
Yeah.
I started seeing some of this stuff. I mean, overall, I wasn't like
It's
it
nothing to
wasn't
write home
something I
about.
was like looking forward to necessarily.
Right.
So I was more than happy just to hit the cliff notes on it.
Yeah. No, this is one of those that you definitely could hit the cliff notes and kind of moved on. So kind of going through it first, we had like new Astrobot content. That's cool. It's all free. It's coming this year, so it's cool to get free content. You know, some new bots to rescue, some new speed run levels. I mean, that's a W. The Midnight Walk. Did you see this thing? Dude, you need to go watch the trailer for this. This might be one of those random games where it's just like, yep, that's a John game. This is one of the most like unique looking games that I've seen in a while. It's like the entire game like is like basically claymation. It's a dark vibe like claymation game. Like it looks actually pretty sick. It is PlayStation 5 or PSVR 2, so I mean that's good that it's got the option for both. But this is actually one of my really only highlights from this show, right? Because like there was only two things that I walked away from this, where it's just like, okay, yeah, that's pretty exciting. Everything else is like, okay, yeah, stuff we've already seen, all right, stuff stuff that doesn't matter to me or whatever. But the Midnight Walk actually looked pretty cool. This is something you might be into. I'm not sure. It was one of those games that just really stood out. Like it's just there's so much like what feels like creativity and like passion behind it. I think is kind of the best way to put it. And if you haven't seen the Midnight Walk trailer, I recommend everyone go check it out because it is really, really intriguing.
Why is it gotta be so fucking creepy?
That's the vibe, man. So not a John game.
I don't know.
I think it looks cool.
I love the art style.
Yeah, the art style is incredible. But everything else might not be for you. That's fair. But the art style is incredible.
I don't know what type of game this is. I still can't tell.
An extremely unique one. Now, this is, like I said, this is one of my highlights of the show. I thought this game looked incredible. Hell is Us. We got to see that. Metro Awakening VR. Arcade Chronicles, which looked all right. Power World, which is out right now, but it's not out in Japan.
Yeah, not coming out in Japan.
Yeah. That Nintendo thing is going to be interesting to see how that thing plays out. And speaking of that, like I saw someone talk about like Nintendo doing everything that they're doing with the patent and everything, kind of signifies that Nintendo does legitimately see Power World as a threat. I feel like they should. Pokemon's still going to be the king for a lot of reasons, but Power World's behind them. The prediction of Power World was going to come in and firmly put their foot in the door. I feel like that's an accurate. I feel like that's an accurate statement. I think Nintendo has a right to see them as a threat in some capacity.
Yeah, but it's also a weird thing of like, it's a different genre.
Yeah.
People aren't playing it because they want a Pokemon game.
Right.
They're playing it because they want an interesting survival game.
Right. Which that's definitely what that is. We got to see Lunar Remastered Collection coming out in spring. TMNT Shredder's Revenge DLC. It's out right now. Got the Sonic the Hedgehog movie pack for Sonic X Shadow. Fantasia Neo Dimension, that is coming out at the beginning of December. Another look at Dragon Age Felguard, which I'm very excited for this game. I don't really need to see anything more. I'm ready to go. Come on, Halloween. Another Alan Wake 2 expansion. Shout out to that. There is in case no one has seen it, there is a physical copy of Alan Wake 2 that is coming out. You can pre-order it right now. Because keep in mind, originally did not have a physical release. Overall, really good package. If you've never played Alan Wake, me, and you're interested in playing Alan Wake, me, it's a great opportunity because it comes with Alan Wake Remastered. It comes with both expansions and obviously Alan Wake 2. And I think it's $60, maybe $70. I mean, standard game price. So I don't know if you've been interested in Alan Wake, that would probably be a good thing to check out. Check out the pre-order on that. Hitman: The World of Assassination as a VR game coming in December. Finally got the official reveal of Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver 1 and 2 remaster after that got leaked. Fear the Spotlight, Towers of Agaspa. I'm not sure to pronounce that one. November early access. That's coming soon. Lego Fortnite split screen and a controller. You gonna get the controller, John?
I have no idea what this is.
The controller looks like crap. Me and Christina, we recently found the special edition Fortnite Switch at one of our local stores, and she looked like, "What is that?" I looked at it for a second. I'm like, "Oh yeah, I think that's the Fortnite Switch. That thing's ugly as shit." That thing is just like if if maybe I just unlocked someone's core memory listening to the show, that was a thing. Got another look at Dynasty Warriors Origins and another look at Monster Hunter Wilds, John. How excited are you for this?
I mean, but I didn't watch this.
Got the release date.
I didn't go back and watch it. The highlight I got out of it was the release date. So now we know it's in February. So, fuck yeah. February's locked up.
Did you see the recommended stats for your PC on this thing?
Nope.
Oh, dude, it's insane. It's insane. So like, if you to get the game to run, it's not too bad. It's like I think the minimum was like a GeForce 2060 Super was like the bare minimum to get the thing to run. But like to get like preferred gameplay on your PC, it's just like, oh yeah, you need like a 4060 something. It's just like, damn. It's like, I've seen articles about it that the recommended components are terrifying, and I'm just like, man, what is this game going to be like on PC? I feel like it could potentially have a rocky launch on PC.
Oh yeah, because it's gonna. I mean, it's gonna be it's kind of twofold there. It's like one, they probably wanted to really crank it for PC to have like some of the craziest stuff, but also, I mean, it's the inflation of like recommended specs that we've seen for years.
Yeah.
It's like it's been a major complaint for years where it's like. And I will say it is a thing where with the PC version and the console version coming out simultaneously, that got something to do with why the specs are going to be so outrageous.
Mm-hmm.
If it had another few months to cook, could we have gotten those specs down some?
Right.
It's entirely possible, but. It coming out at the same time is going to be great.
What are you getting it for?
I would probably still get it for PC.
Okay. I know she wants it for PS5. She's talking about trying to get a PS5 for herself because I'm always playing the PS5.
Yeah. I'll probably end up getting it for PC. I mean, I might as well.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's what I play most of the time.
That's what I play most of the time anyway. It's like this last time I upgraded my PC, I kind of went a bit crazy with it, so
yeah,
I should be able to handle that.
Yeah, push to the limits, have some fun. Yeah. No, I got to say February is stacked. We'll kind of touch on that here in a bit, but no, it coming February 28th. So into the month of February, John's got his first big title of the year. Got another look at Lego Horizon Adventures, which I could be crazy, but I think they bumped up the release date. I swear to God it was December, and now they're showing November 14th. So whatever.
I don't know. They've shown it a few times. They might have shown a release date at some point in there, but
I thought it was December.
It's also one of those where we're like, oh, Lego Horizon. Okay.
Yeah. And then we got a good old Horizon Zero Dawn remastered because we needed that.
So, funny thing about this is
there's a lot of funny things.
This has made people mad.
Oh yeah.
Not because it's Horizon, but once again because it's not Bloodborne.
Yep, because they just continue to ignore Bloodborne's existence.
It's the thing of I don't know if Sony is just doing it at this point to piss people off.
Yeah,
but it's like you have a gold mine right there. You could remaster Bloodborne and release it on modern consoles.
Yep.
And charge people a full $70 price tag.
And they'll still buy it.
And everybody will fucking eat it up.
Yeah. Yep. You have a gold mine there. People have been clamoring for it, man.
It is crazy that they're like, you know what? Horizon.
Yeah.
It's like, we get it. Horizon is like your one successful
newer IP.
Like newer IP from like
the PS4
Yeah, I was going to say like the PS4 generation. Understand, it's like people really like Horizon. But also,
people really like Bloodborne.
doesn't need a remaster, right
especially
now.
since it already has a PS5 upgrade. Like I understand what they're going for the remaster. Is that as I've seen the side by side comparisons. I mean, it looks like Horizon Forbidden West now. That's cool, but you didn't need it. You already had the PS5 upgrade.
Yeah, it already had a PS5 upgrade. It came out on PC like a couple years ago.
Yeah,
and it's still like I think on PC it's still like a $30 or $40 price.
Yeah. So funny thing.
And I look at it and I'm like, because I haven't played Horizon,
Right.
and I look at it and I'm like, okay, well, if that on PC, if I see it go on a good sale, it's never below like $20, and I'm like, I've seen this on the PlayStation Store for like $6 before.
Right.
I have a point where I'm like, I'm not paying. I don't want to pay $20 for it.
Yeah. So funny thing, Horizon Zero Dawn was $20 priced on the PlayStation Store right after this announcement happened.
I heard about
yeah,
this.
the price jumped up to $40.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, Sony.
Well, it's been the crazy thing of like, because for a long time it was like you said, like $20 on PlayStation, but then you'd look at it on Steam and it's $40.
Yep.
40 or 50, whatever the price was. But it's like, how come on your main console you're gonna show a lower price and then expect PC players to pay double that?
Right.
It's like, it's like I get it.
This entire PlayStation 5 generation, because like Zero Dawn would fall into that category because it came out after the PS5 came out, right? Their whole strategy about pricing, PC pricing, PS5 pricing with games, like everything about it has been weird this entire generation.
It is like batshit crazy,
dude. Like there's no rhyme or reason for the pricing on a lot of stuff.
They'll release a game and have it like they don't even run sales simultaneously between like Steam sales and like their PlayStation sales. So it's like a game could come out on Steam that's been on just PlayStation, and they'll have a $50 or $60 price tag for it. And there's a good chance that if you went and looked on the PlayStation's digital store, that it might be like 50% off on there. It's like coordinate a little bit.
Yeah, because like I could be wrong, but I don't even think like one of their most notable sales. I'm not gonna say best sale, but one of the most notable sales, the Days of Play. I don't think they do anything for that with the PC games. I think it's just on the PlayStation. Now, granted, I understand their PC library is still small and growing, but like some of those games will be on the Days of Play sale and not going to be on sale on PC. There's been no rhyme or reason for their sales.
Well, it's like where one of the best examples that I can think of is like God of War 2018. If you look at their digital storefront, it's like when that game goes on sale these days, it's like $5 or something. It recently went on sale on Steam. It was $20, and I think that's the lowest it's ever been on PC. And it's kind of crazy the difference that they view, or that I guess they kind of view the experiences at, where they're like, well, it's been out for 5-6 years on PlayStation. It's only been out for like a year and a half on Steam. It's like we can't discount it that much yet.
Right, not yet.
It's it blows my mind. It's like it's kind of why I don't like buying PlayStation games on Steam.
Have you bought one yet?
Yeah, I Helldivers.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's fair. I mean, like any of the ports. Have you bought any of the ports?
I don't think so.
Okay. See, I haven't either. I wanted to buy Spider-Man when it got ported, but I never ended up getting it.
No, I don't think I've bought any ports from there because they never go on sale.
Yeah.
It's one where it's like I've seen this because that's my perspective. I'm like I've seen it for $9 on like on my PlayStation. I'm not about to pay $60 for it.
So Spider-Man's gone on sale, but not much. I think I'll like twice a year I'll get a notification because it's on my wish list. Like, oh, Spider-Man's on sale, and it's like it's not even a great sale. I'm just like, oh well, never mind. I'll just go play that.
It might go on sale more than that, but the only reason that you're getting like you even get those emails is because it goes on 20% or more of a sale.
Right.
But a lot of the PlayStation games are about as high as they go.
For this upgrade, though, it's going to be a $9 upgrade for anyone that currently owns the game. You can pay for and upgrade it. So, whatever, I guess. A lot of people also immediately made jokes that the release date was October 31st, the same day as Dragon Age, where it's just like Horizon literally cannot escape. And I'm just like, facts. There's nothing like I'm going to have to go look. What comes out around November 14th? I'm going to have to go look. What's coming out alongside Lego Horizon Adventures? There's got to be something because that's just Horizon's MO is to always release a game alongside another bigger game.
Well, the other thing is, like, it's weird that they're doing it again with Horizon Zero Dawn remaster. The thing is, I don't think they It is one of those ones where I'm like, I don't think they care necessarily. Not because they don't want it to succeed, because obviously it has succeeded in spite of like its initial release in that. This is one that like I compare to like I've been comparing games to it for a while, like Hellblade, where they come out, they don't necessarily pop off, and they just sit there, and over time, people are like, "This is fantastic."
Yeah, true.
And that's kind of what Horizon did.
100%.
It just took Horizon nearly a decade for it to gain a lot of the like love that it has.
Yeah, Horizon is one of those games that is like permanently part of people's backlogs. Like, you know what I mean? Like, 'cause it's like, something like something else will come out alongside Horizon. They may want to play that first, but then they'll always kind of go back to Horizon. They'll beat Horizon. Oh, this is a really good game, but they always beat it well after the fact, and it just kind of builds over time. That's true for Horizon, 100%. Let's see. I had Stellar Blade and Near Automata DLC get announced. Also got a quick little line up the PlayStation Plus October games. Shout out to Dino Crisis getting mentioned. That got referenced. Shout out to that. New DualSense controllers and plates. The Chroma collection. I gotta say, the teal one is sick. I am mad it's not coming out till January though. But you got Indigo, Pearl, and Teal. They look really, really good. Big fan of that teal one. And then you just, you got to throw in a nice PlayStation 5 Pro enhancement showcase, which I saw people make a joke that, oh man, Sony already remastered their announcement, because they just love remastering things that don't need to get remastered. And then ended with the big reveal of Ghost of Yōtei. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce it. The next entry to the Ghost of Tsushima series, or just, I guess, the Ghost series is the best way to put it, coming out next year. Immediately, like, there was a lot of really stupid conversation around the fact that you're playing as a female protagonist. There's always going to be that stupid conversation. It's like, it's not a big deal. If you don't like it, don't play it. It's not a big deal. But the one thing that I thought was really interesting is the idea of not necessarily moving to a new protagonist, but moving to a new protagonist and jumping to a whole new era, essentially, right? Because I feel like, everyone was, myself included, was automatically just assuming and waiting for a Ghost of Tsushima 2, right? Follow the next chapter of Jin's story, whatever it's going to be. And that we could still get that. This game could be the equivalent of like a Spider-Man Miles Morales. You know what I mean? It could be the equivalent of a potential Atreus game if he ever gets a little spinoff going, doing whatever he's doing. Who knows? That could be a thing. Could this game be to that size? Maybe. Or it could be a full-fledged game like a Ghost of Tsushima, and just maybe that's the whole idea with the Ghost series, is continuously jumping to a new protagonist in different eras. I think that's fine. I think that's cool.
I mean, I would assume that this is their like their full-fledged, not like a interlude.
Yeah.
Like,
I think it's a full-fledged thing.
Yeah. I
Deservingly so.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's like, yeah, people may have wanted to see what happened next for Jin. They may still be hoping for that. But at the same time, they're probably looking at it like, yeah, we could spend the time to make you probably not a full game's worth of story or something for that. Or we can just move on, create another story, and let your imagination run wild. Mm-hmm. Which, I don't know, kind of a fan of that approach.
Yeah. No, I am too. I like the idea of like jumping to new characters and stuff, and not just continuing on with Jin. I mean, would I like to see another entry for Jin? Yeah, sure, maybe one day. But I mean, I'm very excited just to go to a new area and everything.
Yeah. I like the idea of not every story has to show you to the final conclusion.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, yeah, a lot of times we do want to see that, but especially like, say this game comes out and it kind of leaves you wanting a little bit more to it. Maybe you get the same thing here, and maybe that just becomes their signature style, which I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, I would too. No, I'm very welcoming of that. We're gonna talk about them here in a little bit, but it's kind of like Assassin's Creed. There for a while. Besides the string of Ezio games, I mean, you always jump to a new assassin. Granted, it was like a sole focus on Desmond until he died, but those first few games, you would jump between, you had Altair, then Ezio, then Connor, then you had whoever the guys, Conrad, maybe, I think Kinway, whatever, of the fourth game, Black Flag, something like that. Kind of the same idea. It's kind of what they're going for here. And I mean, I had no problem with that with Assassin's Creed whenever I was playing Assassin's Creed up to basically Black Flag. So that's why I guess I'm kind of welcoming to this. It's like, yeah, sure, I'd love to see Jin's next step, but this is also really cool. This is a welcoming change, especially when you're fast forwarding like 200 years, from the events of Ghost of Tsushima. So it's like, that's going to also open up the possibilities of like different references and stuff to Jin and like his impact on the world. Cause his story is done in the sense of where this game is, right? His story is completed. It's 200 years past. And I don't know, like whenever I see something like that, like my first thought is something like Assassin's Creed 2, where you get Altair's armor. And it was one of the coolest moments of the game for me. You go through all the extra side quests to get his armor or whatever. I thought that was really cool. It wasn't even like a main focal point of the game. It was just something that you could do. So that's kind of the same thing here. It's like, are we going to have the opportunity to maybe get something of Jin's, like find it somehow, right? And see what impact he had on the world. Granted, this is a different region, yes, but his legend, is going to be there, right? Like I imagine he's going to be referenced in some capacity, whether it be like, scrolls or whatever, some sort of text. Like I think it'd be cool to, find those Easter eggs of what Jin's impact was to the world, to all basically inspire another ghost. And I think it's super cool to see like the ability to see more ghosts. So.
Yeah, I think my preference would be, and you don't get it all in this game, would be like picking it up in scrolls or scrolling through and hearing people talk, and it happens to come up in like passing conversation, like maybe as you're progressing through the story, stuff you're doing, people start talking about, word starts getting around, and people start referencing back to Jin and stuff like that. And then you get some stuff happening that way, and then there's historical texts that you come across that have, and you don't find everything, you find pieces of it, and then maybe in the next game you find more.
Yeah.
And then just kind of spread it throughout.
See, that would be sick. Because, like, it's like what you're saying. It's like you're walking through maybe a village or something, and everyone's talking about, oh, did you hear about, like, this, certain, warrior that, is striking down this or that, whatever. Oh, it's almost like it's, the Ghost of Tsushima, from 200 years ago. That'd be sick. Yeah. That would be really sick.
That would be the way I would probably like to see it. Because, I mean, like finding a text or an ancient scroll or something that has some of that put on there, that's nice and cool to see, but most people aren't going to read those when they actually pick them up.
True.
They're gonna pick it up, scan it for quick information, or to see if they get like a prompt or an update to their quest or whatever.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't happen, they're gonna close out of it and leave.
Yeah, basically.
So
I'm that way.
I would
victim.
It's one where it's like make it a little more dynamic of getting that information. And if you catch it, you catch it, and it's cool. If you don't catch it, then, or if you don't notice it, or if it don't connect the dots, it doesn't hurt.
Right.
So that'd be something that would be cool.
Yeah. Coming out next year though. So another game.
I was going to say preemptively call that a Game of the Year contender before it even comes out.
Yep. I agree. No, next year is getting very stacked. Very stacked. Like, it's wild. We could look right now in September 28th when the show is going live, and we can look at next year and we can already pinpoint 3 Game of the Years, assuming everything comes out fine for all 3. Because obviously one is set, and that's Monster Hunter Wilds. Like, I feel like that'll be a Game of the Year contender in February, right? And then you got some, it's supposedly it's going to set for next fall. You got GTA 6, the probable winner, and then you got Ghost here scheduled for 2025, probably also a contender. Like, you can already pinpoint, 3 games right out of the gate that's going to be a Game of the Year contender. Then let's say, we got the Switch 2 come out. Let's say they actually do launch the next 3D Mario, if that's going to be in the running. So next year is already like lined up. It's like, well, we already have our locks for Game of the Year. Shout out to that, I guess. Next year is getting pretty stacked, bro. Next year is going to be a good year for gaming. This was a sneaky good year so far. There's been a lot of quality titles this year.
I saw in my YouTube shorts, okay, occasionally, like I'll see, like, I don't know who the videos are, or I don't know who I guess he's a streamer. I don't know who he is, but I like when his videos pop up because it's usually just him replying to a comment or something.
Oh, yeah.
About like the state of gaming or commenting on a popular release or something that's come out. If I come across him again, I'll make note of the name so that I can come back and mention it again.
You know what's sad is that brief description, I know probably who you're talking about. It's one of two. And I only know the name of one of them.
But in a clip I saw the other day, this actually, like, I got that, and I was after I saw this clip, I was actually just like scrolling through game releases and that. And it was, I guess somebody made a comment about saying like the state of gaming this year was like I think he was playing Black Myth or something, and somebody commented, said like gaming this year has been like terrible, like no good AAA games or anything like that. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, I don't know. I feel like every month has had a banger.
Yeah.
It's like every month at least has had one banger, sometimes two or three. And it's like, yeah, we've had some historic fails. We've had some AAA flops. We've had some games come out dead on arrival.
Yeah.
But also we've had a year of records being broken.
Yeah.
Twice this year we've had Steam records being shattered.
Yeah.
With Power World and then Black Myth Wukong.
What a weird fucking year this has been, man.
Yeah. It's like I think the thing that people get stuck on is this has not been a year where you look at it and you're like, oh, here's our game of the year contenders.
Yeah.
Like you think to like 2023, 2022. Mm-hmm. It's like those were some fucking banger years.
Oh yeah.
And then we come to what would be considered a normal year if not for the influx of crazy good games we had for the past few years.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, this is a normal year. We get a couple standout games, but other than that, it's a bunch of good.
Yeah, a bunch of good quality games.
And then we get a couple really bad ones.
You get the historical failures.
But even then, it's like it's like I literally started scrolling through a list of all game releases from the year, and I was like, "Yep, January through we're in
September,
about to be October, and yeah, every month has had at least one banger."
Yeah,
and it's like, yeah, maybe the one banger that came out for each month, it's not going to sit with everyone, but throughout that time, you should have been able to like. In these like 9 months, you could very easily find 2-3 really good games that came out this year.
Yeah,
that could hold you over for a long time. That's what a lot of the games that came out this year were supposed to do.
Yep.
Like Power World, it was supposed to drag you in and make you play it for 150 hours. Pretty much did that. Mm-hmm. And then updates have come out. Not everybody's gone back yet. When people do go back, they'll probably play it for another 150 hours.
Yep.
That's what that game is meant to do. It's not meant to play for 1,001 like straight go. Mm-hmm. Now we've got Deadlock, not even officially out yet.
True.
Now that game has been taking over the world in a sense. Smaller world because it's still invite only, and once it becomes full, like no invite or anything,
it's gonna blow up.
That game is gonna break records.
Yeah, that game's gonna absolutely just blow up.
But yeah, and then it's like, then remember. I mean, Helldivers.
Yeah.
Helldivers fucking blew up for several months.
Yep.
It's been a crazy year.
Yeah.
It's been a crazy year of records being broken, both good and bad.
Yep.
Games coming out that fostered community and then also had none and closed down because of it. But yeah, it's an insane year like that you also just go, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a good year for gaming. It's not fantastic. It's not great, but it's a good year.
Yeah. It has definitely been an insane. It's one of the most interesting years. Is the good way to put it. Too.
Yeah, it's a weird one because if you made a graph for it, it would be like you start the year up here,
Yep.
and then you kind of tank down for a little while due to some like bad, like maybe some failures or stuff. You had Suicide Squad and that at the beginning of the year, which not complete failure, but probably going to be shutting down eventually.
Yeah,
but it never popped off like
they wanted.
Yeah. And then it's like we kind of just go bang. It's just up and down all year.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, we hit some lows, but we also hit some of the highest peaks we have in decades.
Yeah. And with that, it's also funny because just in like certain spaces of like gaming, that's how the feel is. Because like one meme that I see get updated at least once a month on Twitter is that the timeline of Sony for this year, just to give an example of what you're saying of up and down, where it's like this whole year has just been up and down for Sony, where it's just like, oh, we're so back with like, let's say Astrobot, and it's just like Concord 400 mil, oh, it's so over, and it's like something else happens, oh, we're so back, and then it's like the PlayStation 5 pricing, oh, it's so over. Like, it's just been nonstop, and like that's the kind of vibe that I get from the whole year in general. It's like just nonstop up and down.
Not even just for like gamers themselves. This has also been a historic year that one title in particular has brought in so many people that don't play games anymore, but were so excited. And I know several people who bought consoles for it.
Yep.
College football.
Hey,
it's like it may not be the best football game ever created, but my God, do people look forward to it? And man, are they excited that it actually came out?
Yep. I mean, moved consoles alone. That's crazy to think about, right?
And it's like that's another aspect of this year where it's like, yeah, I mean, I played it a little bit. I mean, I'm not a football guy.
Yeah.
I don't particularly enjoy football games anymore. I could probably sit down and play like older ones. But it's like, I'm not going to sit here and play them now and try to play online against people and all that. I don't want to do that.
Right.
That's too much for me.
I don't even want to play online with people.
But yeah, it's crazy that is the title that probably moved them. Probably one of the higher titles that moved the highest number of consoles this year.
Yeah,
it's
quite
college
possible.
Football.
Yeah, historic return, man. Historic return. It's been a fine return. It's been fun. I've got my fun probably 200 hours out of it so far. I mean, I've enjoyed it. It's frustrating at times, but it's been good. No, it has been it's been an interesting year. It's been an interesting year. And stuff like that with this state of play with like Ghost and everything, and getting the release date for Monster Hunter is just giving us a setup for next year. I mean, overall state of play, it was fine. Had a couple nice little announcements. Ghost was cool. Release date for Monster Hunter. The Chroma Collection, I think, is really cool. Yeah. I think that what was it called again? The claymation game, the Midnight Walk. I thought that looked really interesting. So I mean, it was okay.
I mean, it was okay. Ghost. Everybody's been just waiting on the announcement. It's like it's one where it's like, yeah, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
We just don't want to win.
Right.
And it finally happens. It's like, okay, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Monster Hunter Wilds. It's like
big W.
It's like, yeah, I'm not necessarily like hyping myself up for it because I knew it was going to be a while off still. Into February, I'm like, okay, yeah, I got my target date to start getting hyped for.
Yep. I saw Steelbook was already up for pre-order for that. If you get the standard edition of the game, which I know you weren't going to get physical anyway, but there's a Steelbook out there. Shout out to that. Maybe there'll be a special edition controller.
Hey, you're the Steelbook guy.
I do love me some Steelbooks. You're the controller guy, so maybe there'll be a PS5 controller.
I was going to say, speaking of controller guy, I haven't heard you mention at all yet.
You're right. I have not. Wow. How did I drop the ball on that? So, yeah, it has been a fun week for me, man. We got a Steam Deck in the house. I got this Zelda Switch now. Extra little tidbit. I got my pre-order for my Kaito Hitman Reborn fan disc, which is the first official English dub of Hitman Reborn to ever exist. Shout out to that. It's only like 3 or 4 episodes. They did the most popular episodes, but hey, it's pretty cool. Chris Sabat is Zanzas, so that's pretty cool. But also, I managed to actually get in the queue, and I did pre-order the 35th anniversary edition. 30th, sorry, the 30th anniversary edition of the DualSense for the PlayStation 5. Don't know if I'm going to open that box. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if I'm going to make it a playable controller for me. That might just be on the shelf.
You probably also made a good choice to not pre-order it through the direct website because apparently people have been getting their pre-orders canceled.
So, okay, I really don't have the money to like do more than the DualSense, right? But I told myself if I manage to get into the PlayStation Direct, even though I really shouldn't do it because I got some other things I got to take care of, like I got some car work piling up, I would have considered the Portal. It's the only time I've ever been interested in the Portal.
Okay, so I didn't try to get in the queue because the queue came. The pre-orders became open at 9:00. I got busy at work.
Yeah.
I didn't end up even getting to attempt looking at it until almost 11. Around that time, I was like, out of curiosity, I'm gonna jump in the direct queue.
Yep.
Portals are still available.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know if Alex has looked at this. I'm not gonna message him because I looked at it. It's like $230.
Yeah, $230.
I was like,
I would have affirmed it.
yeah, but I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna send this to him if he hasn't seen it, just because I don't want to make him do that.
Here's where it sucked for me. After waiting through the queue for God knows how long, so I got my controller through Walmart. Walmart came in clutch, which ironically Walmart came in clutch to help me get my PS5 to begin with. Shout out to that, I guess. I did end up getting finally in the queue for PlayStation Direct to make a purchase, but it was so overloaded with people, even though like they're supposed to be like, hey, it's your own little line, your own little lobby, you know, essentially. I could not add anything to my cart, including things that you know good and damn well is not out of stock. I'm talking base ass shit. Out of curiosity, I tried to just add Astrobot to my cart. Could not add anything to my cart. So it was setting right there, PlayStation Portal, add to cart, and I kept clicking and clicking, and it would not work. I got out of curiosity, was not going to buy it. I tried PS5 Pro, did not work. I tried the 30th anniversary Pro, did not work. I tried Astrobot, did not work. It was so overloaded, the site would not let me put anything to the cart.
That's what I was saying. When I signed into it at about 11:00, portals were still available and were able to be added to the cart.
See, did not work for me.
And I looked at it and I went, I'm not gonna send this to him.
I appreciate that.
I'm not gonna tell him that.
I appreciate that.
I'm like he'd get that. I'm like he'd get the portal. He'd probably open that one and not the controller, and then he'd just be disappointed that he had a portal.
I probably would have used it, but
he would have been disappointed with it.
I know. No, I did not need to buy it. So it was a blessing, and so the universe was saying, "Bud, you got some car stuff to take care of soon. You've got this going on. Like you don't need. You got the controller. Be happy with the controller."
I will say it's like for. I mean, this is one where like it'd be cool to have because there's so few of them are getting made, and so few of them are like going out in the wild. So it'd be cool to have for that aspect.
Yeah.
As far as the controller itself, I know you absolutely love it.
I think it's so cool.
You love it. For me, I was like even when I looked at it, I was like, I'll just check around. I was like, they're all going to be sold out. I'll check around. If one's there, I'll buy it.
Right.
It's like, but it wasn't one where I'm like, I have to get this one.
Right. Yeah, it was one that I just felt like I had to have. And you know what's sad? I didn't even start off with the PlayStation 1. I started off with PS2. But I fell in love with that design when they revealed the going away present for the fuckboy Jim Ryan. Like
that one looked way cooler.
That one did look way cooler. But like once I saw the idea behind it of like, I was like, okay, that's sick. So it's like, well, this is close enough. This looks sick. I think honestly, call me basic. I mean, what gets me literally is just the buttons.
I mean, the buttons are the best part.
Yeah, like the buttons and the PlayStation symbol being the old coloring. Like just seeing that, it's just like that's cool as fuck. I want it. Like that, I don't know. It just pops off.
Also, I mean, that's like it's a perfectly fine controller.
Yeah.
It's one where if I wouldn't have been busy at the time, 100% would have tried to buy one.
Yeah. No,
And
I mean,
if I got one, I would have been really excited. I would have opened it.
see, I don't know if I will. I haven't decided yet.
I mean, that's just kind of. I still haven't opened my Final Fantasy 16 one,
Yeah.
but that's more of just if I open them, if I plan on using them,
Yeah.
and I don't have a reason to slot that into my rotation of controllers right now.
Right. That's fair. Yeah, I don't know. This one may just go on the shelf. Because, I mean, also shout out to the boxes. I also loved the boxes. All the boxes are themed after original PlayStation box. So I just think that's just a cool little aesthetic aspect of it. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it may go on the shelf here behind me. And just know that if you're watching the show, the controller might be in that box if it's on the shelf behind me. I don't know if I'm going to take it out yet. But, yeah, shout out to that, though, man. That's pretty exciting.
Buy a box for it, replace it with it, and pawn
It
that
tricked
thing
me.
off.
Man, they're going for so much money on eBay.
Yeah.
All of it is, dude. I'm talking like $10,000, $30,000. Like, who's buying this shit? There's people watching it. I'm like, bro, I want to know where you work, buddy.
That's probably just them going, is anybody going to buy this?
Yeah, it's probably just more so out of curiosity. I got to be honest with you. That's probably what it is. But then you'll find that one listing that's like $5,000, and it's like it's in 3 people's cart. I'm like, Jesus Christ, that is desperate. That is desperation. I mean, I want to know where you work. If you can have a $5,000 resale scalp bundle from eBay in your cart, thinking about buying it, I want to know where you work, buddy.